Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something super interesting for you. The economic impact of Taylor Swift's music tours. Now you might think it's just about sold out stadiums and screaming fans, but there's actually so much more to it. Taylor Swift's influence goes way beyond music. It's a massive economic force. So stick around as we dive into Swiftynomics and see how this pop icon is actually driving economies around the world. Let's kick things off with a fun fact. As of April 2024, Taylor Swift's net worth hit a whopping $1.1 billion. Crazy, right? And she earned most of that from her music-related work. While other celebrities are busy diversifying their income streams, Swift has stuck to her roots: music. Her extensive catalogue, record sales, concert tours, and streaming deals have all played a part in building her empire. But it's her tours that really pack an economic punch. Taylor Swift's tours quite simply have a huge economic impact, especially in European cities, which often get fewer tour dates than the US. Her European Eras tour, which kicked off in May and runs until mid-August, includes 51 shows in 18 cities. Each concert injects a ton of money into the local economy. Let's take Paris, for example. During the Paris leg of the Eras tour in May, luxury travel agency Embark Beyond reported that Swift's concert drew more than 5 times the number of luxury American travelers compared to the Paris Olympics. Many of these fans had already seen her concerts in the US, some multiple times. This influx of tourists hits the local hospitality sector hard. Lighthouse reported that hotel prices in cities hosting Swift's concert during her European tour are expected to jump by an average of 44%. In places like Liverpool, Warsaw, and Stockholm, hotel prices could more than double. Lighthouse CEO Sean Fitzpatrick says Taylor Swift is not just a music icon, but an economic force. Her tours drive up hotel and short-term rental prices wherever she goes. The biggest jumps, as mentioned, are Warsaw 154%, Stockholm 119%, and Liverpool at 115%. But other cities like Vienna, Edinburgh, and Hamburg will also see big increases in hotel prices, ranging from 82 to 88%. Even smaller cities will see significant price hikes as fans flock to see her perform. Major tourist cities like Paris, London, Madrid, Lisbon, and Amsterdam, which regularly host large events, will see smaller impacts. Paris, for example, might only see a 5% increase, while London could see a 9% hike. This difference shows how smaller cities with limited hotel supply experience bigger price jumps. Now, short-term rentals like Airbnbs are also feeling the Taylor Swift effect, though not as dramatically as hotels. So in some places like Liverpool and Dublin, short-term rental prices have risen even more than hotel prices, but the economic boost from Swift's tours goes beyond just places to stay. It includes spending on tickets, travel, meals, and merchandise. In the UK, Taylor Swift fans are expected to spend on average £848 on various items, with nearly 1.2 million fans attending the UK concerts. All in all, Swifties are projected to inject around £997 million into the UK economy, showing the power of consumer spending. Fans typically spend around £121 on accommodation, £56 on new clothes, £111 on travel, £59 on meals, and £79 on official merchandise per person. But some economists, like Victor Matheson from the College of the Holy Cross, think the perceived economic boost to these cities might be more of an illusion. He suggests that most of the spending, including ticket sales and merchandise, benefits the tour operators and Taylor Swift herself rather than the local economy. This ties into the concept of economic multipliers, where the initial spending circulates within the local economy, generating more economic activity. Matheson also points out that although many out-of-towners attend the concerts, most attendees are local residents who might have saved up for months to afford the tickets and related expenses. This could mean less money being spent locally after the concerts, leaving businesses with higher spending for a few days but potentially lower business in the weeks following. When money is spent on concert tickets and merchandise, it doesn't stay in the local economy but goes back with the artist. Beyond immediate economic impacts, Taylor Swift's influence spreads into various sectors, creating what some call Swiftynomics. Her ability to cause ripple effects in both local and larger economies is incredible. The start of her world tour, the Eras Tour, marked unprecedented economic impacts, especially in the US. Ticketing giants like Ticketmaster and SeatGeek saw astonishing sales, with fans selling out stadiums nationwide, generating $554 million in revenue. Now, globally, the tour has racked up an estimated $1.04 billion in gross ticket sales alone, making it the first tour in history to hit the billion-dollar milestone. This phenomenon ties into GDP growth, measuring the total value of goods and services produced in an economy. Now, one of the most striking examples of Swift's economic impact is seen in the NFL. After it was announced that Swift was dating Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, the NFL saw a surge in game viewership and merchandise sales. Kelce's jersey sales spiked 400% almost overnight after Swift attended one of his games. By January of 2024, Swift had generated $331.5 million in equivalent brand value for the Chiefs and the NFL. Additionally, the NFL saw a 53% increase in viewership among girls aged 12 to 17 since the start of the football season. This shows how a popular figure can boost brand equity. As Swift added more dates to her tour in various countries, local economies experienced notable surges in revenue from hotels, restaurants, and transportation services. In the US alone, Swift has generated $4.6 billion in consumer spending, a number expected to eventually exceed $5 billion. With the Asia leg of her tour starting recently in Japan, experts predict similar economic boosts. According to Tokyo City University lecturer Mitsumasa Etu, Swift's tour could generate up to 34.1 billion yen, which is $229.6 million, in Japan, making it the country's biggest ever musical event in terms of economic impact. Tokyo is expected to see at least a 25% revenue increase every night of the tour, showing how initial spending leads to further rounds of spending, amplifying the overall economic impact. In Singapore, the Swiftynomics phenomenon presents an opportunity to enhance the country's tourism reputation. According to Singapore University Associate Professor Lau Kong Chin, the Eras Tour concerts can revitalize the country's image, making it appear modern, open-minded and vibrant. Swift's performances attract thousands of fans from around Southeast Asia and beyond, helping Singapore's tourism levels reach about 80% of pre-pandemic levels. This ties, of course, into tourism economics, where tourism activities generate significant economic benefits for a region. Taylor Swift's economic impact continues to reach new heights, benefiting various corporations and countries. Small businesses across the US are also capitalizing on the Taylor Swift phenomenon by organizing events and themed activities to attract her fans. These range from library events and bar crawls to cruises, painting parties, and dance parties. In Middletown, Ohio, for example, a skating rink hosted a Swifty skate event that drew over 300 skaters, maxing out the rink's capacity. The event featured Taylor Swift-themed bracelets, t-shirts, themed drinks, and more. It was so popular that the rink owners are already planning a repeat. Similarly, Lumi by Akira Bak, an upscale Japanese restaurant in San Diego, hosted a Taylor Swift brunch that sold out within hours. The event featured a themed menu, cocktails named after Swift cats, and a bracelet swap, attracting 140 people each time. Even small towns like Manchester, New Hampshire, are benefiting from Swift's popularity. The Palace and Rex Theatres held 2 Swift dance parties that sold out quickly, bringing 600 attendees to downtown Manchester. These events create economic ripple effects, as attendees often spend money on dining and shopping in the area. The impact of Swift's economic influence isn't limited to small businesses, though. According to economists Ryan Herzog and Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman, Taylor Swift is an economic event in herself, creating significant economic phenomena even at the micro level. Swift's ability to generate revenue and boost local economies, while perhaps not fully captured in national statistics, is evident in the bottom lines of small businesses and local markets. However, some experts, like Herzog, believe that the Taylor Swift economic phenomenon will probably fade over time. While the current impact is substantial, it's uncertain whether this level of influence will continue indefinitely. Taylor Swift's impact also symbolizes a broader shift in women's economic power and agency, often referred to as Swiftynomics. Her songs like The Man and Mad Woman resonate with the challenges ambitious women face in a male-dominated world. Swift's fanbase, empowered by increased economic independence, particularly among young adults, drives the economic whirlwind of her concerts. This shift reflects broader societal changes towards recognizing and valuing women's experiences and contributions both economically and culturally. Concert tours, like Swift's Eras Tour, have grown to become significant economic drivers, creating exogenous shocks that influence local economies. The ongoing Eras Tour is expected to be the highest-grossing tour per concert ever. While the economic impact of such tours might not be fully visible in larger economies like the US or the UK, smaller economies like Singapore and Sweden experience more meaningful effects. In the US, Swift's Eras Tour, generating $5 billion in consumer spending over 6 months, with $2 billion of it attributed to retail sales. Now, while this boost to consumption enchanted economic analysts, the total macroeconomic effect is probably more subdued. The tour likely contributed to around 0.03% of nominal retail sales growth and roughly 0.02% of real GDP growth. In Singapore, the impact of superstar concerts on the economy is expected to be more pronounced. Swift's concerts, along with other major events like Coldplay's and Ed Sheeran's concerts, could significantly boost tourism revenues, contributing to Q1 GDP growth. In Japan, the localized effects of Swift Tour were evident in increased demand for accommodation and public transportation. Similarly, in Australia, Swift's concerts are anticipated to boost retail sales growth and CPI, although the impact on restaurant and transportation prices might be limited. Despite the significant economic contributions, some experts argue that the perceived boost might be more of a perception than reality. Most of the money from ticket sales and merchandise goes directly to Swift and her tour employees rather than local businesses. Now, while hotels and local establishments might see temporary boosts, these are often one-off events that do not translate into long-term economic gains. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts on Swiftonomics in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.